Here's a little update on the Dodge dilemma. Okay, I originally figured thought maybe the transfer case failed, but it hasn't failed. It's still tight. It's got a little bit of chain slop, very, very little. See here? There, very damn little. So I can buy a rebuild kit for this for between $400 and $500. That'll come with a new chain, bearings, synchronizers, and also a set of seals. So I can do this myself. This is the big dilemma in the house. This is a nv5600 6-speed manual transmission. They use these in Dodge heavy-duty trucks. They only built these for about 5 or 6 years, so they're obsolete now. But you can still get rebuild kits for them. Let's take a look here. What I looked at, first thing I look at is the input shaft. Back and forth, that tells me the preload has changed. There's a bearing worn, there's failed, and then side to side motion here. So we've got carnage up here in the front end. As far as I know, 6th gear sits right here, about here. 5th gear's up here. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Reverse back here as far as I know. Now let's spin this and we'll see what it sounds like here. Check this out. She doesn't sound good, but there's no metal shavings in here. There's nothing, no chunks. When I pull this PTO cover off, there's a little bit of oil in there, but I had to stand it up on its end after that. Then the oil all ran out the front, or didn't run out, but it gathered here, then poured out here. So there was a tiny bit of oil in this, guys, but the oil loss I contribute to whatever happened in there, carnage, whatever exploded in there, possibly cracked this case somewhere, and then it let the oil leak out. It's been sitting for a week before I got to it. So you can still buy these cases aftermarket. They're not cheap. This tail housing is, they don't make these anymore. They're obsolete. So if this is cracked, it's going to be a costly thing to find one and replace it. Same goes for the bell housing. It could also be a crack in the bell housing because from here back, this holds your transmission, this holds gears. It's not a regular bell housing. It holds your gear packs and stuff for the front and your shift rods. This is not a conventional top loader where the whole top of the case comes off and you have shift forks. No, this has got to be different. This has all the shift rails internally, and these ribs, that's where your shift rails lay. There's one right there. I believe there's 4 of them in there. So let's try this tail shaft here. I've got it in gear right now. But it sounds the same in all 6 gears, reverse and neutral. So we've got something dragging in there horribly. I found a shop that made you this. They're gonna get back to me tomorrow, let me know if they'll tackle this big boy. I could handle the transfer case myself, but I don't want to even attempt this. You have to have a ton of specialty tools, presses, fixtures, stands, all kinds of shit to build these. I'm going to leave this to those guys. They do it for a living. If they'll, I was almost, my dilemma was, do I part this truck out? Do I scrap it out and call it a loss and, you know, get what I can for parts, or do I fix it? Well, I got scared at first when I started looking at prices. I can get a rebuilt one of these, have this rebuilt for between $3,500 up to $7,000, depending on what's carnaged in there or what is grenaded in there. So that's not horrible. I mean, it's pricey, but this truck is still a good truck. I figure it's worth well over 10 grand the way it sits. I mean, not running, not the way it sits, but as it was before the carnage. So I decided to keep it and try to repair it. So we'll see what the shop says tomorrow. Anyway, guys, that's the update. We'll keep you pinned on what's going on. Later on, guys. Love you all. Bye.